NoteStack is an Avid AAX MIDI plugin that lets you take incoming MIDI note data and process up to 9 different note outputs, with the ability to change the original velocity, as well as add randomization to when a note is played. MIDI plugins are now part of Pro Tools instrument tracks and allow you to manipulate incoming MIDI data in real time. NoteStack is included with all Pro Tools offerings, from Intro up to Ultimate. The following examples show some ways that NoteStack can be used. Let's set up NoteStack to create a simple harmony of a single melody part. Here we have a melody line on an instrument track. To create a harmony for this, insert the NoteStack plugin at the top of the plugin chain. NoteStack can create up to 9 different notes in a plus or minus 3 octave range from the track's incoming note data. For this simple harmony, set note 1 up 4 steps to a major third. When played, you can hear that we're now only getting the harmony note. To also have the original note played, turn note 2 on and leave it set to 0 steps. This will allow the original note data to pass through. You'll notice that the harmony note tends to be louder than the root note on certain parts of the phrase, but you can adjust the velocity of each note being played to make sure the lines sound even. Now that we have our harmony part set for our melody, you can hear that certain notes in the performance are brighter and stick out in an undesirable way. To get these notes under control, we can add a second Avid MIDI plugin, Velocity Control, to the track. Multiple AAX MIDI plugins can be used in conjunction with one another to have more real-time creative control of the track's MIDI data. For this example, set the range to velocity only. For control, we're going to scale by 23% and limit the velocity range to 33 to 95. This will pull the higher velocities down and compress the range, but keep the perceived played dynamics of the track intact. While MIDI plugins can be used for utilitarian purposes, they can also be used as a creative starting point for innovative ideas. One way to achieve this is to use NoteStack in conjunction with the Groove Shaper Light arpeggiation plugin from Pitch Innovations to drive a drum VI to create random rhythm patterns. We will use the Groove Cell virtual instrument for our drum source. First, we draw in a single MIDI note on C1 for 4 bars. Next, insert the NoteStack plugin at the top of the plugin chain and set the 9 notes to correspond to different drum cells in Groove Cell. Each note can not only have a different velocity setting, but there is also a probability setting as well. This sets the output of the note to trigger at random intervals at a set percentage. Then to have the notes create a rhythmic pattern, insert Groove Shaper Light and call up a drum preset and set the plugin to arpeggiate. When you hit play, the single note from the clip gets processed with NoteStack to send out 9 different notes at random percentages. These notes then drive the Groove Shaper arpeggiator to create random rhythmic patterns. To capture these random patterns to edit and play back later, set up a second instrument track with the MIDI input selector set to the chain out of the first instrument track, and move the Groove Cell plugin to the new track. Enable the new track and record the MIDI output from the first instrument track. You can even stretch out the note longer to record more patterns to work with later on. Create and record the new playlist and change up the arpeggiator patterns for even more creative choices.